Can you still feel the thrill of ripping open presents under the Christmas tree during the 80s? Some gifts were completely overshadowed by time, making you forget how awesome they were. While these overlooked presents may be out of mind, believe me, they'll take you straight back to the wild 80s. In 1985, the Nintendo Entertainment System hit North America and single-handedly saved the video game industry after the crash of 1983. With its sleek design and iconic gray cartridges, this console was a revolution in the gaming world. Titles like Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, and Duck Hunt became household names, defining the childhoods of millions. For the first time, players could save progress in games, a groundbreaking feature introduced with The Legend of Zelda. It was also the era of blowing on cartridges to fix them, a ritual many believed was tech-savvy, but was actually more myth than science. The NES's launch wasn't without skepticism. Retailers were hesitant after the gaming industry's collapse, so Nintendo cleverly marketed it as an entertainment system, bundled with ROB, a robotic toy, to attract families. Once it landed under Christmas trees, skepticism turned to delight. Nintendo sold over 60 million units worldwide, cementing itself as the gold standard for home gaming. If you've ever screamed in frustration at a disappearing platform in Super Mario Bros., you know the NES gave as much grief as it did joy. But hey, nothing says the 80s quite like pixelated plumbers and flying ducks. Launched in 1979 but peaking in the 1980s, the Sony Walkman was the ultimate status symbol for music lovers. For the first time in the history of music, you could listen to your favorite mixtape anywhere, on the bus, at the beach, or during your morning jog. Though, let's face it, jogging was optional. The Walkman's portability and sound quality revolutionized how we consumed music, making it a must-have gift. Sony's marketing was genius. They portrayed the Walkman as a lifestyle choice, not just a gadget. Pair it with those classic foam headphones, and you'd feel like a rock star, even if you were just rewinding your cassette for the 5th time. Sony initially doubted its success, but by the mid-80s, over 50 million units had been sold. The Walkman also defined a generation of rebellious teens, who could forget the classic scene of someone sulking in their room, headphones on, while their parents yelled in the background. It was an escape from reality. And if you've ever used a pencil to rewind a tape, you know the struggle was real. Today, the Walkman's legacy lives on in every portable music player that followed. Popular in the early to mid-1980s, these portable music systems were a symbol of street culture, hip-hop, and individuality. Whether you were blasting Run DMC or Madonna, a boombox made sure everyone within a 5-block radius knew your music taste. Boomboxes came in all shapes and sizes, but the bigger, the better. Some models were so large you needed a gym membership just to carry them around. The shoulder carry became an iconic image of the 80s, immortalized in movies, music videos, and countless album covers. With features like dual cassette decks, equalizers, and AM/FM radio, boomboxes were tech-packed marvels for their time. Interestingly, the boombox played a pivotal role in the rise of breakdancing and hip-hop culture. It was a tool for creating outdoor dance battles and block parties. Sure, they required about 47 batteries to run for a few hours. But who cared? When the music hit, the boombox turned any space into a party. When the Rubik's Cube hit shelves in 1980, it became a global obsession. Created by Hungarian architect Erno Rubik, this seemingly simple 3x3 cube was a mind-bending challenge that fascinated kids and adults alike. By 1982, over 100 million Rubik's Cubes had been sold, making it the best-selling puzzle toy of all time. For some, solving the Rubik's Cube was an achievement worthy of bragging rights, a feat to be boasted about at school, work, or social gatherings. For others, it remained a colorful frustration, one that often ended up forgotten in a drawer or abandoned on a shelf. The average person might take hours, days, or never manage to solve it at all, while speedcubers, yes, that's a real subculture, can now solve it in under 3 seconds, thanks to years of practice and refined techniques. This phenomenon of solving the cube quickly led to the first ever Rubik's Cube World Championship, held in Budapest in 1982, where speedcubers showcased their lightning-fast abilities. Spin-offs like the Rubik's Snake and Pyramid brought fresh twists to the puzzle craze. And do not forget the infamous strategy of peeling off the stickers to solve the cube, a surefire way to impress no one. The 1980s were the golden age of VHS tapes, turning movie nights into a home experience like never before. With the rise of VCR, families could finally watch and re-watch their favorite films on demand. From classics like E.T. and Back to the Future to cult hits like The Breakfast Club, VHS tapes were the ultimate gift for movie buffs. Owning a VHS collection was like having your own blockbuster at home. But let's not romanticize it too much. Rewinding tapes after watching was a universally dreaded chore. Be kind, rewind was a moral obligation. And don't even get started on the heartbreak of a VCR chewing up your favorite tape. Interestingly, VHS wasn't the only format competing for dominance. Sony's Betamax offered better quality, but lost the format war due to shorter recording times and higher costs. By the mid-80s, VHS had solidified its place in pop culture. The clunky plastic cases may seem ancient today, but in the 80s, they were pure magic. Owning a VHS tape was about the experience and the bragging rights of having Star Wars at home. Released in 1989, the Atari Lynx was the first handheld gaming console with a full-color LCD screen. It was a technological marvel for its time, allowing gamers to play vibrant, arcade-style games on the go. Unlike its competitors, the Lynx featured backlit graphics and even allowed players to rotate the screen for left-handed use, a rare consideration in the gaming world. Despite its innovation, the Lynx struggled to gain traction in a market dominated by the Nintendo Game Boy. One major drawback? Its appetite for AA batteries, 6 of them to be exact, that drained faster than a 10-year-old's patience during a long car ride. Still, the Lynx boasted impressive titles like California Games and Chips Challenge, earning it a loyal fan base. Atari marketed the Lynx as a premium device, but its high price and bulky design made it less appealing to the masses. While it never reached the heights of its rivals, the Lynx paved the way for future handheld consoles by pushing the boundaries of portable gaming. Today, it's a cherished collector's item, proof that sometimes being ahead of your time doesn't always pay off in the moment. Debuting in 1985, Teddy Ruxpin was no ordinary stuffed animal. This animatronic teddy bear could talk and tell stories through cassette tapes inserted into a compartment in its back. For kids, Teddy was a magical friend who brought stories to life. For parents, he was a marvel of 80s tech, and an expensive one at that. Teddy's expressive eyes and moving mouth were cutting-edge technology for the time. He came with a library of storybooks and tapes, encouraging kids to read along as he narrated adventures. Unlike other toys, Teddy Ruxpin felt interactive, bridging the gap between traditional stuffed animals and futuristic robotics. Teddy Ruxpin was the best-selling toy of 1985 and 1986, earning a place in the hearts of millions. Of course, no 80s toy was without its quirks. When batteries ran low, Teddy's voice could slow down to a creepy drawl, unintentionally turning storytime into a horror movie. But for those lucky enough to find Teddy under the Christmas tree, he was more than a simple toy. He was a productive friend. In the 1980s, charm necklaces and bracelets were kind of a statement. These colorful plastic chains and clip-on charms let kids and teens create wearable stories. Whether it was a miniature roller skate, a tiny telephone, or a sparkling unicorn, each charm reflected its owner's personality and interests. Popular among preteens, charm collections became a schoolyard currency, with trades and swaps dominating recess conversations. One of the best parts of charm jewelry was the hunt. Visiting mall kiosks or toy stores to find new charms was an adventure, and each edition felt like unlocking a new achievement. Neon and pastel colors ruled the scene, making these accessories vibrant and unmistakably 80s. A single necklace or bracelet could hold dozens of charms, jingling merrily with every movement. Charm jewelry was affordable, which made it accessible to almost everyone. However, parents quickly learned to dread the endless clinking noises during car rides or the inevitable requests for just one more charm. Still, their popularity endured, becoming a quintessential part of 80s fashion. Today, these playful accessories are a nostalgic treasure. They're reminders of a time when self-expression didn't come in the form of social media posts, but as jingling trinkets worn proudly around your neck or wrist. In the world of 80s school supplies, nothing reigned supreme quite like the Trapper Keeper. Created by Mead and launched in the late 1970s, this revolutionary binder hit its peak during the 1980s, becoming a must-have for students everywhere. With its vibrant designs, customizable covers, and handy Velcro flap, the Trapper Keeper was a status symbol. The genius of the Trapper Keeper lay in its organization. Built-in folders, dubbed trappers, kept loose papers secure and neatly categorized. The Velcro closure ensured that no rogue homework assignments would escape. Whether your cover featured geometric patterns, adorable kittens, or futuristic spacescapes, the Trapper Keeper was as much a fashion statement as it was a tool for academic success. But the Trapper Keeper was more than a glorified binder. For kids in the 80s, it symbolized independence and preparation. Owning one meant you were serious about school, or at least looked the part. Teachers either loved or loathed them. The iconic ripping sound of opening the binder could disrupt even the quietest classroom. The Trapper Keeper stayed an icon of 80s nostalgia, fondly remembered by anyone who doodled on its cover during a boring lecture. Its legacy lives on, proving that even school supplies can have personality. In the mid-1980s, Casio keyboards became the gateway to music for countless aspiring musicians. Affordable, portable, and packed with features, models like the Casio SK-1 brought synthesizer-style creativity to the masses. Whether you were composing your first masterpiece or simply entertaining yourself with preset beats, a Casio keyboard was pure magic. One standout feature was the SK-1's ability to sample sounds. With a built-in microphone, users could record anything, a barking dog, a sibling's voice, and transform it into musical notes. The keyboard's variety of tones and rhythms made it endlessly entertaining, even if your songs sounded more like science fiction soundtracks. Casio keyboards also became a staple of 80s pop culture. They appeared in commercials, music videos, and movies, embodying the era's love of accessible technology. Many professional musicians credit Casio keyboards with sparking their early interest in music. We cannot forget the iconic demo song, a catchy tune every owner proudly played and then promptly butchered by trying to improvise. While today's keyboards are more advanced, there's a charm to the simplicity of a Casio. For 80s kids, a Casio keyboard under the Christmas tree was a passport to a world of music. In 1982, Mattel unleashed Masters of the Universe toys, and by Christmas of that year, He-Man and his heroic friends were battling Skeletor for dominance in playrooms everywhere. These action figures were an entire universe of epic storytelling, complete with castles, vehicles, and a moral lesson at the end of every animated episode. The figures were known for their muscle-bound designs, bright colors, and impressive accessories. Who could forget He-Man's power sword or Skeletor's havoc staff? Castle Grayskull, the iconic playset, was every kid's dream. Its trapdoors, hidden compartments, and ominous design made it the perfect backdrop for battles between good and evil. Interestingly, the Masters of the Universe franchise was one of the first toy lines to have an accompanying cartoon, flipping the usual toy-to-show formula. The show was a cultural phenomenon, cementing phrases like, "I have the power," into the lexicon of the 80s. Though the line eventually declined in popularity, Masters of the Universe remains a symbol of the decade's over-the-top creativity. Modern reboots and collector's editions keep the spirit alive, but nothing beats the magic of unboxing a brand new He-Man figure on Christmas morning. Few gifts captured the imagination of the 1980s, quite like Cabbage Patch Kids. These chubby-cheeked, yarn-haired dolls were the must-have toy of the decade, sparking frenzied holiday shopping sprees and even some infamous store fights. Created by Xavier Roberts and launched in 1983, each doll came with a unique name, birth certificate, and adoption papers, making them feel less like toys and more like members of the family. What set Cabbage Patch Kids apart was their uniqueness. No two dolls were exactly alike, thanks to their hand-stitched features and varied clothing styles. This made owning one feel special and personal. Kids would line up for hours with their parents just to adopt a new friend, while others begged Santa to deliver one on Christmas morning. The dolls became a cultural phenomenon. They were featured in cartoons, carried in parades, and even inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame. Beyond the hype, they taught kids about nurturing and responsibility in their own quirky way. Cabbage Patch Kids remain iconic symbols of 80s childhood. Whether lovingly tucked under the arm of a child or nostalgically displayed by collectors, these dolls continue to evoke warm memories of a simpler time when adopting a cuddly companion made for the perfect Christmas. The 1980s saw a lot of toys that glowed, blinked, or flashed, but few combined function and flair as seamlessly as light-up frisbees. Perfect for nighttime play, these glowing discs turned a simple game of catch into a spectacle. Whether you were at the beach, in the backyard, or at a neighborhood block party, tossing a light-up frisbee felt futuristic and fun. Powered by small batteries, these frisbees featured LED or incandescent lights embedded in the rim. The lights came in vibrant colors, green, red, blue, that streaked through the night sky like a UFO. They were some conversation starters. If you've ever seen a light-up frisbee in flight, you know how mesmerizing the glowing arc can be. Light-up frisbees weren't just for kids either. Adults got in on the action, making them a hit at barbecues and outdoor gatherings. And let's not forget the inevitable watch out for the tree moment that ended many frisbee sessions. Though modern versions with advanced lighting exist, the 80s light-up frisbee holds a special place in the hearts of those who remember them. They were symbols of summer nights and simple joys, lighting up not just the sky, but entire childhoods. Sony's Betamax, introduced in 1975, revolutionized home entertainment by allowing users to record TV shows and movies. As the first home video recording system, Betamax gave people the freedom to control when and how they watched media. Despite eventually losing the format war to VHS, Betamax left an undeniable mark on the industry. One of its key strengths was superior video and audio quality. Betamax tapes delivered clearer resolution and richer sound than its competitors, making them a favorite among tech enthusiasts. However, their one-hour recording limit proved impractical compared to VHS tapes, which offered longer recording times. This disadvantage, coupled with VHS's affordability and broader availability through multiple manufacturers, gave VHS the edge in the mass market. Betamax machines, on the other hand, were compact and durable, embodying Sony's commitment to craftsmanship. For many, Betamax symbolized a new era of media freedom. It allowed viewers to record and re-watch shows at their leisure, pause live moments, and create personal video libraries. While Betamax faded from popularity by the late 80s, it set the stage for modern media consumption, introducing the concept of on-demand entertainment, a foundation that streaming services build on today. Betamax may have lost the battle, but it helped ignite a media revolution that changed the way we watch forever. Though they debuted in the late 1960s, Big Wheels remained a quintessential kids' gift well into the 1980s. These low-riding plastic tricycles were pure joy on 3 wheels. Designed to be safe, affordable, and easy to use, Big Wheels were the perfect outdoor toy for kids to zoom around the neighborhood. The design was simple but brilliant, with a large front wheel, 2 smaller back wheels, and handlebars that encouraged fast, sharp turns. Big Wheels felt like the training wheels of daredevil stunts. Every kid had their signature move, drifting around corners or skidding to a stop like a mini action hero. And who could forget the sound of plastic tires scraping against the pavement? Big Wheels also had an unmatched cool factor, often featuring popular TV and movie characters like Spider-Man, Star Wars, or He-Man. Some models even came with levers for wheelies or sound effects, amplifying the awesome factor. Though modern versions exist, Big Wheels of the 80s were iconic because they symbolized freedom, speed, and endless summer afternoons. Whether you were racing friends, or just cruising the driveway, riding a big wheel made you feel unstoppable, even if you still needed help tying your shoes. Desktop pin art was the 1980s equivalent of a fidget spinner, a mesmerizing desk toy that brought joy to kids and adults alike. Featuring a bed of movable pins encased in a frame, the toy allowed you to press your hand, face, or any object into the pins to create a 3D impression. Popular in offices, homes, and even waiting rooms, pin art appealed to anyone who loved tactile experiences. The joy of pressing an object into the pins and flipping it over to reveal your sculpture was oddly satisfying. And yes, we've all tried to see how realistic we could make a face impression. Part of its charm was its simplicity. No batteries, no instructions, just pure, hands-on fun. It was also a conversation starter, sitting prominently on desks as a quirky piece of interactive decor. Sure, it didn't do much, but that was the beauty of it. While pin art's popularity has faded, its nostalgic charm remains. For 80s kids, it was a toy that required zero skill but delivered endless entertainment, a perfect distraction for long afternoons or dull office meetings. For music lovers in the 1980s, few places were as iconic as Peach's Records. Known for its massive selection of vinyl, cassette tapes, and later CDs, Peach's was more than a record store. It was a cultural hub. For many teens, receiving a Peach's gift card for Christmas felt like being handed a golden ticket to music paradise. Peach's stores were known for their unique vibe, with wooden crates stacked high with albums and walls plastered with posters of the hottest bands. Gift cards meant the freedom to explore, discover, and, most importantly, curate your own collection. Whether you were into pop icons like Madonna or rock legends like the Rolling Stones, Peach's had it all. The 80s also marked the era of album art as a statement piece, and browsing rows of records was an adventure in itself. Peach's records may have faded into history, but for those who shopped there, it was unforgettable. A gift card was an invitation to discover your identity through music, one album at a time. Released in 1985, Garbage Pail Kids were the anti-heroes of trading cards. Created as a parody of the wholesome Cabbage Patch Kids, these cards featured hilariously grotesque characters with names like Atom Bomb, Leaky Lindsay, and Barfin' Barbara. They were gross, irreverent, and wildly popular among 80s kids. Each card had a unique, exaggerated illustration paired with a pun-filled name. From oozing sores to exploding heads, no subject was off limits. Kids traded them at recess, snuck them into school despite bans, and competed to complete their collections. The accompanying sticker on each card made them even cooler. Parents and teachers weren't as amused. Many schools outright banned the cards, claiming they were a distraction. And honestly, they were. But for kids, that rebellion only made Garbage Pail Kids cooler. They were the epitome of 80s counterculture for preteens, an accessible way to be edgy without actually getting into trouble. Today, Garbage Pail Kids are remembered fondly by collectors and fans of 80s pop culture. The cards serve as a reminder of a time when humor was unapologetically gross and childhood rebellion came in the form of cartoon puke and snot. The Pogo Ball, introduced in the mid-1980s, was a toy that promised endless bouncing fun, and occasionally a skinned knee or two. Looking like a spaceship or a Saturn-shaped object, the Pogo Ball consisted of a durable plastic ball sandwiched between two flat platforms. The goal was to stand on the platform, grip the ball with your feet, and bounce like there was no tomorrow. Part toy, part fitness device, the Pogo Ball was a test of balance and stamina. For kids who mastered it, it was a badge of honor. You'd see kids bouncing down sidewalks, showing off their tricks, or participating in unofficial "who can bounce the longest" contests. However, for the less coordinated, the Pogo Ball could be a source of frustration, or slapstick comedy. Parents appreciated that it encouraged kids to stay active, but they probably didn't love the sound of thuds and occasional crashes echoing through the house. The Pogo Ball's vibrant neon colors and futuristic design made it undeniably 80s, and its commercials, with kids performing gravity-defying moves, made it a must-have item. Though its popularity waned by the 90s, the Pogo Ball remains a nostalgic symbol of 80s energy. And for anyone who's ever bounced on one, you probably still remember the wobbly triumph of nailing that first jump. When Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial hit theaters in 1982, it captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. It wasn't long before the lovable alien became a merchandising juggernaut, with the E.T. plush doll standing out as one of the most beloved products. Owning an E.T. plush was like having a piece of the movie magic in your hands, a comforting, huggable reminder of the heartwarming story. The plush design was surprisingly true to E.T.'s unique appearance: wrinkled skin, oversized eyes, and that unmistakable long neck. Despite looking a bit odd, kids adored them. For many, the E.T. doll was a true friend. It was the perfect companion for reenacting the movie's iconic bike ride scene or whispering, "Phone home" into its tiny floppy hands. E.T. plushies came in various sizes, from small palm-sized versions to larger ones that could sit at the dinner table like an honorary family member. Parents appreciated that the plush was soft and durable, surviving countless hugs and occasional outdoor adventures. Even decades later, the E.T. plush doll remains a cherished relic of 80s nostalgia, reminding us of a time when a homesick alien could teach us about love, friendship, and finding our way home. In 1986, laser tag burst onto the scene and brought futuristic backyard battles to life. Using infrared technology, players equipped with laser guns and sensor vests could compete in adrenaline-pumping duels that felt straight out of a sci-fi movie. It was such a huge experience, a blend of high-tech play and action-packed imagination. Laser tag sets were marketed as the game that moves at the speed of light. And for kids who got one under the Christmas tree, it was pure magic. Running around the neighborhood or turning the living room into a battle arena, laser tag encouraged active, creative play. The flashing lights, beeping sensors, and satisfying pew-pew sounds made every match feel like an epic showdown. However, the game wasn't without its quirks. The sensors weren't always reliable, leading to disputes over whether someone was actually hit. And we shall not forget the parents who panicked at the sight of kids running around with toy guns. Despite these challenges, laser tag's popularity soared, spawning tournaments and even a Saturday morning cartoon series. Laser tag is still around, but nothing beats the 80s charm of the original sets. They captured the era's love for high-tech fun and turned backyards into intergalactic battlefields. In 1986, Mad Balls exploded onto the toy scene, proving that even gross-out humor could be collectible. These squishy foam rubber balls featured grotesque, hilariously exaggerated faces with names like Slobulus, Screamin' Mimi, and Oculus Orbis. Whether you were tossing them, trading them, or just admiring their gnarly designs, Mad Balls were as much about attitude as they were about fun. Each Mad Ball was a unique character, sporting bulging eyes, sharp teeth, or slimy textures. They were marketed as so ugly, they're cool, and kids couldn't get enough. They were small enough to carry around, making them the perfect recess accessory for grossing out friends or showing off your collection. Parents, on the other hand, were baffled by their appeal. What was so great about a ball with veins and scars? But for kids, Mad Balls fit right in with the 80s fascination with the bizarre. Think Garbage Pail Kids in spherical form. Despite their niche appeal, Mad Balls achieved cult status, spawning comic books, animated specials, and even attempts at video games. While they were primarily just squishy balls, their zany designs and irreverent humor made them a standout gift for 80s kids with a taste for the weird and wild. For budding designers in the 1980s, fashion plates were the ultimate creative outlet. This toy allowed kids to mix and match different textured plates to design stylish outfits. By placing the plates into a frame, covering them with paper, and rubbing with a crayon, kids could create outlines of dresses, shirts, and accessories that were just waiting to be colored in. Fashion plates appealed especially to kids with big imaginations and an eye for style. You could swap tops, bottoms, and even hairstyles, essentially becoming your own mini fashion house. Once the outline was complete, coloring it in was half the fun, letting kids experiment with bold neon hues that screamed 80s fashion. Parents appreciated the toy's educational aspect, encouraging creativity without a screen in sight. And while the designs were limited to the plates included in the set, many kids hacked the system by creating custom templates out of cardboard or experimenting with new color combinations. Fashion plates offered a sense of empowerment. For a generation dreaming of runways and glamour, this was the first step in turning sketches into reality. Even today, their simplicity and charm make them a nostalgic reminder of 80s ingenuity and style. Shrinky Dinks might sound like the name of a sci-fi experiment gone wrong, but these crafty creations were pure 80s magic. Originally invented in the 1970s, they skyrocketed in popularity during the 80s, becoming a staple of kids' art projects. The concept was simple yet mesmerizing. Draw or color on a sheet of special plastic, cut out your design, and pop it into the oven. In mere minutes, the plastic would shrink, harden, and transform into a miniature version of your creation. For kids, Shrinky Dinks were a gateway to limitless creativity. From personalized keychains to decorative pins, the possibilities were endless. Many sets came with themed templates like cartoon characters or holiday designs, while ambitious artists could freehand their masterpieces. Watching the sheets curl and shrink in the oven was half the fun, like witnessing a tiny piece of magic unfold before your eyes. Parents loved Shrinky Dinks too. They were affordable, easy to clean up, and kept kids entertained for hours. Sure, there was the occasional mishap. Who didn't burn a batch by accident? But that was part of the charm. Decades later, Shrinky Dinks remain a nostalgic reminder of simpler times, when a little creativity and an oven were all you needed for endless fun. The mid-1980s brought a revolution in home video technology with the launch of the Sony Handycam. Compact, portable, and user-friendly, these camcorders gave families the ability to record precious moments without hiring a professional. From birthday parties to holiday mornings, the Handycam became a household staple, preserving the everyday magic of life. Unlike earlier, bulkier video cameras, Sony's camcorders were truly portable. They featured easy-to-load VHS or 8mm tapes, allowing hours of recording with just a simple press of a button. The built-in microphone captured sound, making it easy to relive everything from kids' laughter to awkward holiday speeches. The Handycam was revolutionary because families could now create their own home movies, capturing memories in a way that felt effortless. But of course, no 80s home video was complete without a shaky zoom or a dad narrating, "And here's the turkey." Owning a Sony Handycam in the 80s was like holding the future in your hands. It democratized filmmaking and turned everyday people into documentarians. Decades later, these grainy, heartfelt recordings have become priceless treasures, proving that sometimes the simplest gifts leave the most lasting impact.
Dancing but never falling down, Weebles Wobble brought a unique blend of joy and resilience to playtime in the early 70s. These egg-shaped figures, with their inability to tip over, became a beloved part of childhood for many. Created by Hasbro, Weebles embodied the mantra, "Weebles wobble but they don't fall down," teaching kids about persistence in a fun and engaging way. Their simple design and cheerful faces made them a hit, though the rise of digital toys eventually lessened their prominence. Still, for those who grew up in the 70s, the memory of Weebles brings back a sense of nostalgia and the simple pleasures of childhood play.
Clackers, those captivating orbs that danced a dangerous ballet in the hands of daring youngsters. Introduced to America's playgrounds in the swinging 60s, these simple toys of two balls connected by a string captivated many with their hypnotic clacking. Yet, this seemingly innocent pastime harbored a hidden peril. By the 1970s, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration stepped in, raising alarms over the toy's shattering risk. The hard acrylic could break, launching sharp shards into the air, a clear danger to any child's face or eyes. Thus, amid concerns and injuries, Clackers were subjected to stringent safety regulations, forever changing their presence in the hands of American youth. The Tickle Feather Sponge wasn't really a toy per se, but it was still one of the first things they gave you. The off thing about this toy is that it is literally just one of those cartoonish devices you would see in Tom and Jerry that characters use to absolutely ruin someone's day by tickling them. Plus, this thing was abrasive, so it really got to work and not in a fun way, despite the laughs you would hear. Also, the novelty factor kind of got old pretty fast, and you know how kids can be. They need something to keep their brains glued for a long time. Things get old fast, and a sponge that's only good for tickling people gets old even faster. So it isn't really any major surprise that this was a decent-sized flop for them.
Introduced in 1965 and soaring in popularity during the 70s, the Super Spirograph was more than a toy. It was a creative outlet that blended art, mathematics, and imagination. With its gears and pens, it allowed kids to create intricate and dazzling designs, fostering a love for geometry and art. The Super Spirograph represented a time when play could be both fun and educational, sparking creativity in countless children. Though eventually overshadowed by the digital age, the unique patterns and designs created with this kit remain a fond memory for many, symbolizing the joy of discovery and creativity.
Next, let's recall the Creepy Crawler's Thingmaker, an innovation that turned the ordinary American kitchen into a mini monster factory. Launched in the 1960s, this device allowed children to create a plethora of rubbery creatures from heated plastic. However, its very design, featuring an open heating element, posed a significant risk. Burns became a troubling consequence for unsuspecting young creators, leading to a redesign aimed at ensuring safety. Despite its enthralling promise of endless fun, the Thingmaker's hazardous potential marked a pivotal moment in the evaluation of toy safety standards during that era. The next thing we're going to move on to is the Ronald McDonald sunglasses. In hindsight, this should work. It's Ronald McDonald, it's merch that comes alongside a burger and fries, plus it's a collectible. So by all means, the goopy goblin brain that dominates the mindset of your average 5-year-old should have been pleased. Except this thing looked beyond creepy and in the worst way possible. Some things are aesthetically creepy, you know? They look scary or off-putting, but in a nice-to-look-at way. This thing was just flat-out ugly and unappealing, like nobody wanted to wear it. Kids were pretty bummed out when they saw a pair of these horrid glasses pop out of their Happy Meal, because what they really wanted was a cool action figure, not shades that no one from 482 would wear.
With their simple, iconic design, Fisher-Price Little People entered the scene in the late 60s and became a staple of childhood in the 70s. These miniature figures and their corresponding playsets, from farms to schools, opened up a world of imagination for children. They encouraged storytelling and role-playing, allowing kids to craft their own narratives. Over time, changes in safety standards and toy trends evolved their design, yet the essence of Little People and the imaginative play they inspired continue to be celebrated by those who grew up with them, serving as a reminder of the boundless adventures that await in the simplest of toys.
The Austin Magic Pistol, a toy of the 1950s, exemplifies America's post-war innovation and the era's relaxed approach to safety. Distinguished by its use of magic crystals that, when combined with water, propelled a plastic ball with a bang, this toy captured the imagination of many a young sharpshooter. However, its operation, essentially a controlled explosion, raised eyebrows. Classified as a firearm in numerous states today, the Austin Magic Pistol's fall from grace reflects a growing awareness of the need for stringent safety measures in children's playthings, a sign of changing times in American society. Another pretty early take on striking that fine line between quirky, advertisable, appealing, and fun for children were the McDonaldland camp gear toys. Now, to be fair, that is a hard line to walk, but these people didn't even attempt to. Whatever was going on inside the creative room, the day these were given the green light is beyond me, and probably beyond you too. See, when you're a kid, the last thing that gets you jumping out of your chair in excitement is the prospect of gardening. You can probably tell that they missed the mark badly with the target audience for this one, because not only was the idea inherently unattractive, but the execution was too. These were just plastic toys, small ones, like a shove, bucket, and a plower, alongside your usual Happy Meal. Kids got bored extra fast, and the camping gear did not last long at all.
Since 1955, Willy has captivated children with its magnetic powder and pen, allowing for endless facial hair designs on its bald cartoon face. Peaking in popularity in the 70s, this toy was a testament to the joy found in simplicity and creativity. Willy encouraged kids to become makeshift barbers, crafting hairstyles with just a magnetic wand. Although overshadowed by the advent of high-tech toys, The laughter and fun Willy provided remain etched in the memories of those who played with him, a symbol of a time when entertainment was as straightforward as a magnet and some metal filings.
Enter the Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory, the pinnacle of educational toys with a twist of danger, available briefly before its discontinuation in 1952. Promising to unlock the mysteries of atomic energy for curious minds, this set included actual radioactive materials. Safety concerns quickly overshadowed its educational value as the potential for harmful exposure became apparent. This bold foray into hands-on science education left its mark as a cautionary tale of ambition outpacing safety, illustrating a pivotal moment in the evolution of consumer awareness and regulation. Speaking of dull, plain, and boring, how do you make that description sound even worse? Somehow, the McDonald's character glove puppets came up with an incredible answer. Be all of that, plus also be very unsafe and an obvious choking hazard. Since you know you're marketing this stuff to children that can't even be trusted around mud. Seriously, kids in the 80s and 90s would eat mud, paper, even days-old food. So what made them think they wouldn't try gobbling a glove? Glove is a generous term for what were actually just these cheap, lazy plastic bags with characters from the restaurant drawn over them. Shockingly entertaining, right? Yeah, this one lasted seconds with the children.
Quickshoot, launched in the 1970s, wasn't merely a toy. It was an adventure that turned living rooms into Wild West showdowns. With its plastic revolver and pop-up targets, it challenged kids to test their speed and accuracy in a blend of play and excitement. This game distinguished itself by offering an analog, interactive experience that digital gaming hadn't yet replaced, fostering a sense of accomplishment with each direct hit. It combined physical activity with the thrill of competition, making it a beloved memory for those who grew up in that era. Since the 1930s, the Viewmaster has been a window to vivid worlds far beyond the everyday, but it was in the 70s that this toy became a must-have for children. By inserting circular reels and peering through the viewer, kids could embark on visual adventures to distant lands, storybook settings, and even outer space. The Viewmaster was more than just a toy. It was an educational tool that expanded horizons and inspired dreams. Despite being eclipsed by digital advancements, the Viewmaster remains a cherished item, its reels a collection of gateways to the imagination, highlighting the wonder of exploration through a simple click.
Then, the tale of the Cabbage Patch Kids Snacktime Kids dolls, a late 90s sensation, brings a modern twist to our nostalgic journey. These dolls, designed to eat snacks fed by their young owners, captured hearts until an unforeseen hazard emerged. The mechanism that enabled this unique feature also posed a risk of entangling children's fingers and hair, leading to a recall in 1997. This incident highlights the ongoing challenges faced by toy manufacturers and regulators in ensuring the safety of innovative toys, a reminder of the delicate balance between creativity and caution in the world of children's playthings. Of all the things to pick for a Happy Meal, which is, again, targeted at literal children, why would an incredibly successful multi-millionaire franchise pick toothpaste and toothbrush? Not a toy version, not some cheeky advertising, but literal toothpastes and brushes alongside a burger, fries, and soda that stains your teeth. Am I the only one seeing the irony here, or is it echoing throughout the rest of the room too? Either way, I'm not sure if this one needs any explanation, since you all can probably guess how badly this must have performed. Kids went from happy to unhappy real fast when they popped open their meal to see Dental Hygiene 101 waiting for them, as if they did not hear about it enough from their parents. Funnily enough, it motivated a grand total of 0 kids to actually implement better brushing habits too. It definitely did tank sales for a while though, so I guess it was smart to pull it out early. Damage control, right?
Launched in the mid-1970s, the Astro Ray gun captured the imagination of children fascinated by space and science fiction. This handheld toy, with its flashing lights and futuristic sounds, provided a tangible connection to the cosmic adventures that filled screens and storybooks. Amid the excitement of the space race and the popularity of Star Wars, the Astro Ray gun allowed kids to role-play as space heroes defending the galaxy. While newer technologies eventually replaced these simple toys, the memory of battling through space with just a toy blaster remains a fond recollection for many, a reminder of when adventure required nothing more than imagination and a trigger finger. Tomy pocket games arrived in the late 70s, perfectly sized for travel and designed to entertain and challenge. These handheld games were a testament to the power of portable play, offering puzzles and challenges that could turn any car ride or rainy day into an opportunity for fun. Before the dominance of digital handheld games, Tomy pocket games were a favorite for their tactile gameplay and the sense of accomplishment they offered. Although they have since faded from the forefront of children's toys, the satisfaction and joy they provided live on, a nod to a time when entertainment was as simple as flipping, twisting, and sliding.
The Easy Bake Oven, a beloved toy since 1963, found itself under scrutiny in 2007. Known for allowing children to craft their own culinary creations, this seemingly harmless device led to an unexpected danger. Reports of children getting their fingers stuck, with some cases resulting in burns severe enough to necessitate surgery, prompted a massive recall of approximately 1 million units. This incident served as a stark reminder of the evolving understanding of toy safety, leading to a redesigned Easy Bake Oven that prioritized accessibility and safety, ensuring that future chefs could bake without fear. The worst thing about Popoids was that it really was just a poor man's Lego set. If you could not get a proper Lego set either because your parents did not want you fiddling around with tiny, swallowable plastic parts, then you were just out of luck. Maybe McDonald's thought there was an untapped market, a demographic they had not touched yet in cases like that. Kids longing for Legos but never getting any, so why not ease their woes by including some Popoids as a Happy Meal toy? Except these were discount Legos in every sense of the word. It was just 3 pieces of interconnecting plastic that could not be shaped into much, and when it was, it did not resemble anything either. At least Legos let you make Darth Vader's ship or something.
Mid-1970s knit magic turned children into budding fashion designers, enabling them to knit without needles and create their own scarves, hats, and more. This innovative toy democratized the crafting process, making it accessible and enjoyable for kids. Knit magic represented a blend of creativity and self-expression, encouraging young minds to explore the possibilities of yarn and design. Although its popularity has waned in the face of changing hobbies and interests, the sense of achievement from creating something wearable remains a cherished memory, celebrating the warmth and pride of handmade fashion.
Super Elastic Bubble Plastic was the stuff of legends, a whimsical toy that allowed children to create their own colorful, air-filled bubbles. Yet, beneath its vibrant allure lay hidden risks. The chemical composition of the plastic and the inhalation required to blow the bubbles raised health concerns, highlighting the complex balance between innovative play and safety. While captivating in its simplicity and creativity, Super Elastic Bubble Plastic's journey underscores the ongoing dialogue about the materials and methods used in toys, a conversation that continues to shape the landscape of play. If you have a bit of a sharper eye, you might notice the problem with a lot of the toys we talk about. For example, with the Michael Jordan Fitness Fun toys, instead of leaning into McDonald's identity as a fast food giant, they try to paint it as something it isn't. See, McDonald's is not healthy, nor is it good for you. It's fatty, greasy food that you should ideally be eating once a week, but it's also comfort food that lots of people have grown up with. When they launched the Michael Jordan Fitness Fun toys as part of some of their earliest partnership deals with professional athletes, they tried to move away from that image. McDonald's was getting decent flack for encouraging horrible diet habits in children, so it wanted to partner up with the face of fitness itself at the time. Its idea was a bad jump rope, a really funky watch, and a frisbee with Jordan's face.
In 1967, Lite-Brite illuminated the creative world of children, offering a mesmerizing way to craft with light and color. This toy combined simple components, colored pegs and black paper, to create glowing pieces of art that captivated the imagination. Lite-Brite stood out as a beacon of creativity, enabling kids to design luminous masterpieces that brightened any room. Despite the emergence of more advanced toys, the enchantment of creating with Lite-Brite endures in the hearts of those who grew up with it, a reminder of the joy found in lighting up the dark with just a peg and a little imagination.
The saga of lawn darts, or jarts, as they were colloquially known, is a somber chapter in toy history. Introduced in the 1960s, these metal-tipped darts, intended for outdoor play, soon revealed a darker side. After causing numerous injuries and tragically fatalities, lawn darts were banned in 1988 in the United States. This ban served as a watershed moment in toy safety, illustrating the critical need for oversight and regulation in children's playthings. The story of lawn darts remains a powerful reminder of the responsibilities manufacturers and regulators bear in ensuring the well-being of young enthusiasts. McDonald's would not let go of this idea, though. It definitely did want to shake off the unhealthy stigma that was attached to the company. Hence, it came up with the Step-It toys. These were basically fitness trackers with neon wraps that you could wear that actually had some basic features and easy controls. However, a lot of critics still did not ease up on Ronald McDonald, claiming that stunts like these were a cheap ploy to draw people's attention away from how unhealthy McDonald's really was for kids. Eventually, they were recalled and discontinued after several customers reported skin irritation from prolonged use. Guess they really need to up the standard on the materials they use for these toys.
In an era where digital screens were a novelty, the Kaleidoscope offered endless visual adventures, captivating children with its simple yet profound magic. Twisting the tube, users were greeted with an ever-changing mosaic of colors and patterns, a feast for the eyes and the imagination. This toy, enjoying renewed popularity in the 70s, served as a tangible reminder of the beauty and change and the endless possibilities that come from looking at the world from different angles. The Kaleidoscope's timeless appeal lies in its ability to transform ordinary light and beads into extraordinary visions, making it a cherished keepsake that represents the joy and wonder of discovery.
Barbie Rollerblade, a toy that sparkled with the promise of fun, took a sharp turn towards safety concerns in 1992. These dolls, equipped with rollerblades that emitted real sparks, captured the imagination of many until the potential fire hazard they posed came to light. The recall of Barbie Rollerblade skates underscored the complexities of integrating dynamic features into toys and the paramount importance of thorough safety testing. This incident not only highlighted the challenges of innovation in toy design, but also reinforced the enduring commitment to safeguarding the joy and well-being of children. In hindsight, the 101 Dalmatians set was one of their better ideas, just done poorly. It involved 101 literal collectible Dalmatians that you could keep gathering for an entire set. Except the problem was that it was extremely unrealistic. Think about it. To do that, you would have to eat McDonald's 101 times, assuming you get a different Dalmatian each time, which you won't, in the short time period where this promotion was running. Some people did get lucky, though they were obviously dedicated, and now they can profit off the collection very nicely. It's considered one of their rarest Happy Meal toy sets, and it goes for several hundreds of dollars if you have a complete set. However, the joy of Happy Meals was collecting different sets of toys, which was easy if there was a reasonable amount. If they even did something like 10 Dalmatians per Happy Meal, then it would be a lot more achievable for most kids.
Beloved since their debut in the early 20th century, Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls experienced a resurgence in the 70s, embodying the comfort and simplicity of earlier times. These dolls, with their iconic red yarn hair and triangle noses, became cherished companions for countless children, representing friendship and security. The handmade appeal of Raggedy Ann and Andy, along with their storybook adventures, endeared them to generations. Though modern toys have moved towards electronic and interactive features, the nostalgia tied to these dolls endures, a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and the simple joys of a soft, huggable friend.
The Battlestar Galactica Colonial Viper missile toy, a marvel of the late 70s, brought the excitement of space battles to Earth. However, the small missile parts, designed to launch from the toy, became a source of grave concern following a choking incident that tragically ended in a child's death. This event in 1978 led to a swift recall and served as a critical lesson in the design and safety of toys with small detachable parts. It underscored the importance of foreseeing potential risks in toy design, ultimately influencing stricter safety standards and practices in the toy industry, ensuring that the imagination's flight does not come at the cost of safety. This one was a real doozy. Hello Kitty's a brand worth working with, right? Gets the kids, gets the girls, doubles as a niche fun internet trend. Bit of a mainstream one now, though. At least that's what I imagine McDonald's was thinking when it came out with the Hello Kitty whistle toys, but this time they had the concept and execution down pretty well. The part where they went awfully wrong was in the assembling and manufacturing. These little whistles had detachable parts, and they also had lead paint in them, which was known for causing severe health hazards. The parts were often dangerous too because while blowing the whistle, kids could accidentally suck a part in and swallow it, and mind you, 2.5 million units of these were sold. At least 2 cases were reported, and it ended up with McDonald's having to recall these items, which was a massive corporate fiasco. Safe to say, that was one collectively unhappy meal.
Launched in the late 70s, Perfection was a game that combined the thrill of speed with the challenge of puzzle solving. Players raced against the clock to fit all the pieces into the correct spots before the timer ran out, causing the board to pop and scatter the pieces. This heart-pounding game was not only entertaining, but also helped develop fine motor skills and quick thinking. Perfection remains a beloved memory for many, encapsulating the tension and excitement of racing against time. Its distinctive pop sound when the timer expired is a nostalgic trigger, recalling moments of laughter, surprise, and the rush to beat the clock.
The Water Wiggle by Wham-O, a seemingly innocuous garden hose attachment, promised endless summer fun with its erratic, water-spraying antics. Yet, beneath its playful exterior lurked hidden dangers. In the 1970s, the toy was linked to accidents and injuries, leading to its withdrawal from the market. The Water Wiggle's journey from backyard favorite to safety cautionary tale underscores the critical importance of evaluating playthings for all potential risks, not just those apparent at first glance. This episode in toy history serves as a reminder of the evolving standards of safety that guide the industry, ensuring that the laughter of children playing with water is not overshadowed by preventable hazards. The Mighty Duck Pucks were a McDonald's set that came out in the 1990s, and they were actually another one of McDonald's famous franchise deals. The Mighty Ducks was this really popular animated show that was reigning the TV ratings at the time, and each toy was designed to look like a plastic puck with added features. Some of these could move, some of them could shoot hockey sticks out, and some of them had wheels. Maybe they took some notes from their past works and realized that interactive elements are the way to go, but they still couldn't succeed in making toy lines that retained the attention of a child. As a result, this one tanked too.
The Telstar console by Coleco made its mark in the mid-70s as an early forerunner in the home video game console market. Offering games like tennis and hockey, Telstar brought the arcade experience into the living room with simple graphics and easy-to-use controllers. It was a glimpse into the future of entertainment, laying the groundwork for the gaming revolution to come. Although technology quickly evolved beyond Telstar's capabilities, the console holds a special place in the history of video gaming, remembered fondly by those who first experienced video games through its black and white display.
The Slip and Slide, another Wham-O classic, epitomizes summer fun with its straightforward yet exhilarating concept. This water-lubricated slide offers an adrenaline rush as users glide across the lawn. Yet, it's accompanied by a cautionary note, especially for adult users, due to recalls linked to severe spinal and neck injuries. This situation illuminates the complexities of toy design, stressing the necessity for age-appropriate products and explicit usage guidelines. Despite these challenges, the Slip and Slide remains a beloved fixture of summer, symbolizing the toy industry's dedication to merging enjoyment with safety, ensuring playtime is both thrilling and secure for every age. The McDonald's airport toys were actually not too bad, but they were just really uninspiring as far as airplanes go. You have a vehicle whose entire MO is flying, and all you make is a rough outline of it with different colors? That kind of stuff doesn't last long in the unforgiving world of children's toys, where even the best player in the market can be a loser in as little as half a day. They offered 5 planes with this lineup: the Grimace Buy plane, which was hot pink, the Birdie Bentwing Blazer, the Fry Guy Flyer, the Big Mac Helicopter, and the Ronald Seaplane. They did well enough, at least if the standard you hold them to is everything else on this list. But compared to actual successful McDonald's toys, they performed pretty poorly. Maybe if they actually flew for a bit, they'd have been more fun to keep.
The Evel Knievel stunt cycle, introduced in the 1970s, allowed kids to recreate the death-defying stunts of America's iconic Daredevil. This toy captured the essence of Evel Knievel's spirit, empowering children to imagine and perform their own spectacular feats. As Evel Knievel's real-life stunts became the stuff of legend, the stunt cycle became a cherished part of many childhoods, a symbol of bravery and exhilaration. Though the spotlight on Evel Knievel has dimmed, the thrill of launching that toy motorcycle and watching it defy obstacles remains a vivid memory, encapsulating the excitement of a bygone era.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below which of these presents were your favorites back in the day.